I've been fascinated with the roosterfish since coming down to Cabo. My fascination probably started about 12 years ago. I saw this fish and I was like, wow, like this is one of the wildest looking fish I've ever seen. It's called the roosterfish because it has a mohawk that comes off like the top of the dorsal area, and it's reminiscent of like a rooster, a gallo. So it's like the gallo de mar, the rooster of the sea. It is a super aggressive surf predator. So it's mainly found in the Eastern Pacific, ranging from Peru up into here into the Baja area. And they can get quite large. They can range from like 10 pounds all the way to like 100 plus pounds. Now we don't get to see them that big typically, but there have been some pretty large ones caught in the summer months when there's a greater presence of bait and the water's warmer. But the roosterfish, scientifically known as Nematicius pectoralis, and it's such a fascinating fish. The coloration is just so vibrant and unique. It's almost like this weird tiger striping, camouflage, but it flashes these neons and these aquas, this lime, and super exciting to watch it hit bait. They hunt in the surf. They're like the surf predator, and as the mullet, which is their favorite food, or commonly known as lisa, cool thing to see. The mohawk comes up, and I like to think about them as like the road warrior, the Mad Max, the Mel Gibson, the Fury Road, Tom Hardy version of this mohawk coming up, and then they cut through the surf and you just see the fish, and it's so neat because you see them just like coming after the prey, and they're super aggressive, and when they hit hard, and they provide just a brilliant, fun fight. And what a cool trophy to have. Now, the other thing that makes this fish so neat and so special is you don't have to own a boat to fish for them. You can fish from the shoreline. And there's this romantic idea of catching it from the surf. And once I kind of checked that block, and to be quite honest, I didn't get lucky enough to get my first one here in Cabo. I chased them here in Cabo for quite a bit with I was unsuccessful. I ended up getting my first one in Panama, and it was like super fun. And then since that, the seal's been broken, and we're getting quite proficient at getting them. But I am still like chasing it with this romantic idea of like getting it on my 12 weight fly rod. Shout out to Real Blue Custom Rods that make all my rods for me. And John Blue put together this amazing fiberglass 12 weight. And I've been working from the beach trying to get one. It's not a desired eating fish, so it's primarily catch and release, but it's a really cool trophy. And a lot of people come here, and it's a destination fish. We're very fortunate to have them here in the Baja, and so people can come here and knock this species off their bucket list without having to go into like I did, like Panama or further south, Guatemala, etc. So it's an Eastern Pacific fish, super fun, super cool. I love them to death, and I can't get enough. And anytime like they start coming in and we start seeing them, and I dedicate at least like a day a week to like going after them and trying to add to the memories, because it's a worthy opponent, and anyone that knows me knows that that for me is like key. I must have a worthy opponent, and I feel that roosters really are, and I love sharing them with our client base, and I love sharing them with my friends. As you see here, like I'm watching like one of my favorite guys on earth, Renee, get one, and I'm pretty pumped up about that. He grew up, born and raised here, 100% Chollero, and he got his very first one here this day, and it's super exciting, and that just shows like you can come here and you can put time and effort into it, and it doesn't guarantee it. It's not, and that's the beauty. All these species and fish are here in the Baja California Sur, and eligible to be caught, but you got to get out there and you got to do it. Like the great Wayne Gretzky says, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So another great reason to come down here and fish. And you can do it, with us, on the boats, but you can also do it from the surf and the shore, and it's super cool. I love, when we're in the boats and I'm looking at the shore, when I'm on the shore myself, and I'm usually around a bunch of younger guys and kids, and it just fires me up to see that passion, to be coming up in the next generation, and that classic romantic passion of angling and fishing, being held up by the old timers as well. Welcome to the Cabo Fishing Podcast, brought to you by Rancho del Pescador, Red Rum Sport Fishing, Marvita, and Proyecta Pupila. Santiago, it's the very first boat trip today, big day to celebrate. But while we're out here today, getting Santiago sea legs under him, I got one of my best friends with me. We go all the way back to Anchorage, Alaska. Alaska. But Travis, aka the Wookie Wilson, Travis Wilson of Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors, who is Red Rum's and Marvita's charitable partner in Operation Billfish. And we are down here in sunny Cabo San Lucas with the beautiful lighthouse and Misiones in the background, hanging outside the Cove Club. We're not exclusive enough to be inside the Cove Club, but we are. They just don't know.
Not yet.
They just don't know.
Yeah.
But
Toby Keith, if you're watching this,
holler at your boys.
Yeah.
But we're down here in Cabo. We're doing a little bit of reconnaissance. Well, you're doing reconnaissance, and we're finalizing and making sure all the things in town are taken care of that need to get taken care of. Operation Billfish used to be called Fish a Day.
Yeah.
We rebranded it, renamed it, reflagged it, Operation Billfish, make it a little more, veteran focused, a little more military focused. And we're gonna take some very deserving veterans, primarily special operations, on a really cool outdoor adventure here in sunny, slightly windy Cabo San Lucas.
Little windy today.
And the Los Cabos municipality of Baja California, sir. But under this sky and with this backdrop, we're gonna take some very deserving veterans, and I'm gonna let Travis explain Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors to our audience so that everyone understands why we're doing this, who we're doing it for, and why it's important that we do these things other than giving Santiago an option to be on a boat.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Well, I have to say, so this is the guy that started it off for me. He took me on a veterans outdoor adventure trip, adrenaline adventure trip on a bear hunt, and that's where I learned about adrenaline adventure and mental health. Somebody there, while we were just talking, said this is some of the best mental health I've ever had. Mental health conversation they've ever had. And I don't think that veterans can get that anywhere other than with other veterans. And so it just, ignited a little spark in my head. And Alpha Elite Performance, my supplement company, we got to a point where we could say, hey, let's start a nonprofit where it could be AEP Outdoors, and then we could start taking veterans, primarily soft because I'm a retired Green Beret, and that footprint is near and dear to my heart. And so we take veterans, soft veterans, on adrenaline outdoor adventure trips. And so we partnered with Toby here, who he's right. We go back a long way to Alaska. We didn't know it. Believe it or not, but we know a lot of the same people. But to combine the two, the veteran outdoor adventure, mental health aspect, Cabo San Lucas, sport fishing, which in itself is an adrenaline. I did it last year, and I'm telling you, when you hook onto a massive fish like I did, what was it, a marlin? Sailfish?
You got both.
It is, and I'm half broken. I've had 13 surgeries in my life, so my arms don't work as well. The reeling arm doesn't work as well as it used to, but it is such an adrenaline rush, and that combined with the guys being together, hooking on a big fish, is that adrenaline rush, and feeling that adrenaline that they are familiar with from deployments or just being in the military. And then that fellowship that they get to have together for those 4 days, it's amazing, and it's magical, and it's healing, and that's why we are doing the Operation Billfish is to bring these guys together, that they can come out here, adrenaline sport fish, and then spend time together and be able to talk about things that I guarantee you they don't say in front of their spouse, or that they talk in front of civilian people that don't understand what a lot of these guys have been through. And it's not just soft veterans, it's any veteran. I assure you, they talk about it with other veterans, the things that they've experienced that civilians and their spouses wouldn't even understand. So it's healing. It's healing for me. It's some of the best mental health I've ever had, and I owe it to this guy to starting AEP Outdoors.
So I really kind of want to bootstrap caveat onto something you said there. We're talking about adrenaline-based adventures. So I want to take it one step farther and talk about what made you successful as a Green Beret, made me successful as an infantryman, and all our friends within the military community. What made us so successful is facing adversity, both alone, inner turmoil, but also as a unit. And so part of going through basic training and the evolution of your progression through the training and then into combat, you keep facing these different forms of adversity. And while you deal with that adversity, you exert adrenaline, you exert perspiration, you exert trauma, you exert all these things.
Fear.
You face them and you deal with them. And a beautiful lubricant, to bring people together, to make the conversation smoother, to get to a point of vulnerability faster, is to have people face adversity.
Yeah.
You and I, we face some adversity on the side of a hill. We face some adversity in a swamp facing a dinosaur. Bringing these guys here and letting them face the adversity and understanding, bringing in a marlin, a billfish, is not an easy task.
No, it's a slugfest.
While there's some great books about catching trout and there's some great books about catching salmon, I bet you can't name very many, but I guarantee you can name a Hemingway book where a man caught a marlin.
Yeah.
And every child, it used to be most children in their education process read Old Man in the Sea, or are familiar with the Hemingway story of Old Man in the Sea. And so facing that adversity together, feeling that adrenaline, and after that adrenaline dump comes this moment of vulnerability and truth and honesty. And then having the lubrication to have those hard conversations man, how you really doing? Man, I'm doing really well at this moment, but that's because I survived this. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to go back to that. I want to continue this emotion. How do I live my life like this? How did I get off that X? How did I, and those conversations and that roller coaster of emotions, and adrenaline kind of provides that, right? There's moments where it's super exciting and scary. Then it's can I really do this? And then it kicks in and you find the strength, you find that inner fortitude. And that intestinal fortitude, that gut check.
Fortitude.
Yeah, good words, right? Good
I
words.
love it,
We
yeah.
stole them. Every one of these words is stolen.
Yeah.
I've made no words.
Man, I remember I used that intestinal fortitude as an E4 to an E6 when I was stationed in Alaska. And he was like, you just made my day. William Lambert, I know you're watching.
And intestinal fortitude, and when you endure that and then you look to your left and your right and you realize, I make fun of Marines and I make fun of Navy guys all the time.
How can you not? I love them.
Right.
I'm just
but
kidding. I love them.
The Marine Corps and the Navies have an exercise where they lock arms in the surf and they just let the cold water beat the crap out of them.
They do shit I would not want to do.
Right. A very uncomfortable experience. But they're all doing it together while they're facing the inner battle of how cold the water is and the shrinkage issue and the pride and the choking on water and the salt in the eyes. While they're going through all that internally, they realize that to their left and to the right, they've locked arms with people going through the exact same experience.
It's exact.
And I love that. I think it's a great
and it's about the guy
parallel
left and right.
For what we're trying to accomplish with this event. And it's for the guy to your left and your right to lock arms with him, go through something with him, so that you are better.
Regardless of your branch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Better than where you started. And I remember a wise leader encouraged me to try out for a unit one time, And he said, no matter what, if you do this, you will always be a better soldier and you will be a better person. And so like, that's why we're bringing these guys down here. We're going to challenge them with this, like this event. We're going to challenge them to catch these fish. And then they're going to leave here better people and better leaders in their community, better leaders in their home, better husbands, better sons, better fathers. And I'm excited to do it.
Yeah, absolutely. As am I. And we did it last year, and I still stay in touch with everybody that was here last year. And just had a guy reach out yesterday, said, whatever I can do to help, promote this next event, I'll do. And it's pretty phenomenal. It's healing, and this is an experience that these guys will never ever forget.
So how does somebody help this event other than someone that's been on it before? Like, tell us how people can support yours and my vision for what's happening here.
Obviously, first and foremost is monetarily. You can go to AP Outdoors and donate to Operation Billfish, and 100% of what is raised through AP Outdoors goes to the events that we provide, and Operation Billfish is one of those. So any dollar amount, it's there. It says Operation Billfish. If you donate to Operation Billfish, it goes to Operation Billfish, to this event, to this experience, and this adrenaline experience that these guys get to have a great time at. And we've already got some of the guys picked out for it, and they're pretty stoked about it. But yeah, if you go to apoutdoors.com and donate to Operation Billfish, like I said, 100% of those funds go to this event.
It is a hard thing to do in the nonprofit realm, to do that, to put 100% of money on target. And when there's a bitter taste in the non-profit sphere with people and organizations that have taken money and then not either followed through, or such a low percentage of the money actually makes it to target. So what Travis just said was 100% of what you're donating for Operation Billfish goes to Operation Billfish. Travis doesn't get paid, Toby doesn't get paid, yep. Santiago might get a free treat, but he really doesn't get paid. Like, the boats are donating their time. The restaurants are doing everything they can to make sure that these guys have a great experience. Now, there are some costs incurred. Diesel obviously isn't free. Fishing line isn't free. Some of the other things that are going aren't free.
Travel, all that stuff it's not free.
Airfare to and from Cabo isn't free. So we're trying to cover all that. These guys, the only thing they need to bring is a good attitude, a thirst, and a hunger. Yeah. And everything else in this adventure is going to be provided to them. We're very excited to have it. We're just so proud to continue this legacy.
Absolutely.
And a big shout out to my brothers, Brad Stripmatter, Cody Hurt, that did Veteran Outdoors with me for so many years. It was their baby. They brought me into it. And as I came down here and then followed the next phase, the next chapter of my life, and it's nice to lock arms with guys that have the same vision and have taken that torch and have carried it forward. And we are so proud to be part of it. Even Santiago, look at my man right here, is so proud of it. So, but this is one of the boats. This is Oso Rojo. It's the guys are going to enjoy it, and almost as much as Santiago enjoys it. But he's trying to find the shade today.
Yeah, he is.
It's, as Santana and Rob, what's his face from Matchbox 20 once said, it was a hot
Rob
one.
Thomas.
Rob Thomas.
Yeah.
It was a hot one.
It's my boy from Sandbox. What was that bar in? All right, yeah. And if you want to help AP Outdoors, AP Outdoors is a baby that came to fruition through meeting Toby, and Toby taking me out on an outdoor adrenaline adventure, a bear hunt, where I learned about what fellowship was within the brotherhood with veterans that I didn't know. So from that spawned AEP Outdoors, and through our nonprofit, through our regular business, Alpha Elite Performance, we were able to start AEP Outdoors, and we're able to take veterans on outdoor adrenaline adventure, Cabo, monthly heli hog hunts, and we have a trip coming up in August to Africa for a special operations female, one of the first special operations females recruited into that service. So yeah, that's what we do. AEP Outdoors, we take care of our veterans, our soft veterans, and it's 100% of what we raise goes to the programs, to the events that we provide. None of it comes into our pockets at all, and it all goes to these events. So if you want to support us, you can go to aepoutdoors.com and click any of those links that support our programs and make a donation today. Thank you. So if you want to find us on social media, you can go to AEP_outdoors. If you want to find us, our supplement nutrition company, you can go to Alpha Elite Performance. Or if you just want to go to aepoutdoors.com, any of those work.
Hey guys, this is Cassie from the porch. Today I'm going to be teaching you how to make the jalapeno cucumber margarita, one of the porch specialties. So you take the ingredients, which are cucumber, jalapeno, tequila, Controy, and pineapple, and throw them all into the blender. You blend them up nice and smooth. You add tahini onto the rim of a margarita glass. Add the ice in the glass. Pour the blended mixture into the glass. Serve and enjoy.
And welcome back. Here we are at Misiones de Kino with my dear friends Israel and Renee. And this is one of my favorite restaurants. One, because it's a family-run restaurant. It's one of the coolest and oldest restaurants here in town. And I mean, you don't even realize where you're at when you're in here. You're like in this beautiful atrium. And underneath the big mango trees, the lime trees, and it's super cool. Israel, tell us about how this restaurant came to be.
Well, we had an idea of open a business in Cabo. I didn't know what to do, but I know something that I wanted to experience as an open restaurant. It was to give something to people, the experience of being in Baja, right? To feel like they're in Baja, to feel like in Cabo, to feel like this just unique kind of place. So we started with a dream, and we have this just fix it up to make it look, you know, what you can see right now. It's a very, very, very pretty, very rustic.
Back in time.
Yeah. No, one of the coolest things about food, it is like the easiest way to say I love you.
Absolutely.
Like when you're making like family dinner, like when I'm doing it and I'm not a chef and what I make is probably a debauchery. You know, it's 2 levels above macaroni and cheese, but you know, like 1 level below good Texas barbecue. But it's the easiest way. Like I can say I love you to my family and my friends, because you're literally giving sustenance. You're giving life. You're giving energy. And it's like, for me, it's this like super romantic notion. Like, there's no greater thing than saying like, I love you to the people around you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And like, here's this meal to demonstrate it. And like, I just wish I had like the skill and the talent to like put flavor to it, more than like Montreal steak seasoning.
Right, right. Or know how to correctly cut everything.
Or not cut myself.
Yeah, and then there's that.
Because everyone knows I'm like good at stabbing myself and hooking myself. It's a talent.
Very true.
It's a talent.
Very
I
true.
have. So you had this dream, you know, you have this beautiful location. Its name, Misiones de Kino, comes from what the location is, right?
That's correct.
Tell us
That's
a little bit
correct.
about that.
So originally, when he opened the restaurant, everyone knows who Francis Padre Kino is. And mission, or Misiones, means visiting station. So for him, he wanted to create a place where you could come and visit and experience a moment and travel back in time. If you wander through the restaurant, you'll see everything's very rustic, romantic, and it really makes you feel like you're not in present day. So for him, it was really important to create that experience for our clients and our friends and our family.
It's really hard to believe that we are a block from like some of the big things in Cabo,
Yes.
like, you know, Cabo Wabo, for instance, is on this street.
Yes,
Like,
it is.
you know, like one of the most famous, you know, hotels is across the street.
Correct.
You don't know.
No, we're
You don't know because you're so like, you got the beautiful walls, the foliage, the
Yeah.
garden oasis.
Well, when you walk into this restaurant, the first thing, the first impression is that you're like back on time. You're like Cabo, like 70 years ago, 60 years or 50 years ago. You know, people that just like has that feeling of, you know, like I'm in Cabo San Lucas. I'm not just in another tourist town, and you know, I'm experiencing what I came here to do. You know, the
little bit of culture.
little bit
Yeah,
of culture.
little bit of
Yeah,
culture.
correct.
Absolutely.
A little bit
Yeah.
of culture.
What are like the subtleties that, you know, we'll talk about food in a second, but one of the subtleties that I really appreciate, and especially as a business owner, is furniture. Everyone forgets, you know, they see like a Costco or a Walmart or whatever, and they're like, oh, well, you know, you have everything that you could possibly want. Well, you're still 1,000 miles away from
Yes, you are.
what most people consider civilization.
Yeah.
Right? And one of the things I always pay attention to is furniture.
Yeah.
And like my wife and I, we love sitting on the benches, you know, because then like we get to sit close, right? But
Absolutely.
you know, like the neat thing is like this is sourced here, it's made here, it's every chair's, you know, artisanship from here, and it like that's such an underrated thing that people like they don't understand the nuance. They're like, oh, like you said, like it's rustic. Well, part of that's by design, and part of it's
Yes.
because you're actually using what's available. And necessity is the mother of invention, and this invention's a masterpiece.
Well, and where he got the furniture is in this little town called Candelaria. And there was one guy only originally that would make the scallop thick wood chairs only. And now you can find it, it's a little bit more prevalent than before, but that was it. You had to go to Candelaria up in the mountains, 4-wheel drive, find this little guy that would make the chairs and the tables.
I would never make it. I only have a
No.
two-wheel job.
Yes, a lot
It'll
of the
take you some
furniture.
time.
Yeah, a lot of the furnitures are made with you know, around this area materials.
And
you know.
no modern day tools. I mean, these guys are hand carving
It's
it
just-
out.
But
Hand
also,
carving it out.
it's a charm and it's unique, you know, and adds
No
everything.
two chairs are the same, I'll guarantee you that.
Well, I mean, no two snowflakes are the same
No.
either, right? And that's
Yeah.
the beauty of creation. That's the beauty
correct.
of expression. Like, and it again, like I was saying, like that's something that's so underrated because that's personality.
Yeah.
That's actual character. And again, it's like, you know, you've given a platform for someone to bring their wares, their passion to the world that complements your passion.
Yeah.
You know, not only are you like making this beautiful meal and presenting this beautiful meal, it's presented by like the hard work, effort, and passion of generations before you and before me and before us.
Yeah,
You know,
that's correct.
and it's cool. And it's from here.
That's
Yeah.
right.
And it adds to the experience.
Absolutely.
Our
Yeah.
restaurant would not be the same if we were sitting on plastic and metal.
Right.
It just wouldn't be the same. We have to, from the moment you walk in to the moment you leave, we want the whole thing to be an experience. Even if it's just little touches that you might not see, it's important for us to know that it's there.
So, however many, like a year or two ago, we Katie, you know, made sure that, you know, we were coming back and eating here, and I've eaten here many times. I'd never had papaya sauce before. All right, so I got to bring this up because I think this story, as I was told by you, was integral in some of this because, like, I mean, Katie's over there with a
Yeah.
loaf of bread, just
Yeah.
diming out Katie for like eating lots of sauce.
Katie, don't blame you. I married him for the sauce.
Well, tell us that. Tell us that.
No, so the sauce. First of all, it's dairy free and I can't have any dairy. So to have this incredible creamy sauce that has a hint of heat,
Yep.
tons of flavor, and you can put it on anything and it's delicious. I mean, an old boot, and I would eat that boot if it's covered in this chapaya sauce.
I would too.
But it's incredible on seafood like fish, shrimp, scallops, octopus, and it's also amazing on pasta. And it's an old family recipe from his side of the family, from
Yeah.
Veracruz.
Yeah,
And
from Veracruz. It's a recipe from the area, from my hometown. It's a tiny little pepper. We call them chapaya, which is totally different than all the peppers. That's why the sauce has the unique flavor, because we use that type of chili. And then all the ingredients are family recipes that I have to introduce into our dishes here, and just people love it. And the sauce is really good. I mean, we've been here a long time, and a lot of people knows us for the dishes that we have, and they always come back and they want to. Can I have that sauce that I had last time? I mean, they're like so good. You know,
It's
like
addictive.
it's
Oh.
good.
Like,
a bowl with chips. Done. Done.
So-
it's addictive.
Yeah.
But it's also very versatile. You
Yeah.
know, and like that
Yeah.
you're saying, you're putting it on
Yeah,
fish, and I've eaten it here on crab.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've eaten it on octopus. I've eaten it on shrimp, pasta, bread.
I know. Risotto.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
You know, Jessica's had it that way.
Yeah.
No, it's you call it crack, but it's definitely like
Yeah,
it's addictive.
And it's just one of the dishes that we offer here. And as you know, we got a standard menu from seafood, Mexican, and some Italian food. We do the combination, and we own recipes here. You know, it's all fresh, prepared every single day, and we have also fish of the day. You know, whatever is the catch of the day. And
Well, let's talk about the combination of Mexican and Italian, like because that's a very personal influence, right?
Yeah. Well, we experience with different sauces and how to introduce Italian with the Mexican. So that's how we came out with a few recipes and just kind of play with it, you know, with Italian food. So we came out with few plates and dishes that they're really good, like the risotto with chicken and chapaya, and you know, different other dishes that we can
Taking
offer.
two beautiful dishes and somehow infusing them together. The Mexican influence, the Italian influence, and bring them together so you have a culinary experience. Everyone can do Mexican, everyone can do Italian. Make them
Not
dance
everyone,
together.
but yeah.
Make them dance together.
Well, we get-
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Not
That's
everyone
good.
can pull just one off, but no. One of the things that personality goes so far, and y'all's personalities all over this place. You know,
Oh,
like
thank you.
no, like, and that I know that probably I wish it sounded more complimentary because it really is. Like, I admire you for your waterman skills. Like you're more than a pretty face that can cook. Like,
Oh, Toby, don't go that far. Don't go that far.
You're an accomplished surfer.
Yeah.
You've shown me one of the coolest videos of whales I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
We got my man here, like, that has done amazing underwater work and some great drone work. But I mean, you've like flown over whales and like filmed it and like just shown them in their natural beauty. You truly enjoy the water. You're passionate about the water. Like, I've heard stories about like when you get in the surf, everyone's like,
Yeah, he's the man.
there he
He's the
is.
man, yeah.
Like,
Oh, I just love it.
Yeah.
It's a passion. I love Cabo. I love the water. I love everything. So it's just a passion. It's just something that I really enjoy. Doing.
well, when you're passionate about something, it like my dad used to talk, and I think he stole it from like Bruce Lee. But when you fill like a cup up and like with passion, it finds its way into every pore and every hole and just leaks out into everything you do, and it just like explodes with like like that's what I said, like your personalities are all over this place, and it's cool, and your family.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. This is
kids
what's.
work here, like
Yeah. This
I've
is what's
dined
built.
with your grandkids.
Right.
You know, like,
Yeah.
like it's cool. Like
Yeah.
I love
It's a
it.
family business.
Yeah, it was
That's what's
built
important.
thinking in the family, thinking work together, and help each other and enjoy, this restaurant as a family. And it has, we have some amazing moments with families, with friends, and also everyone who comes here, they become not almost, but becomes a family. They come back every year. They talk about experience. We talk about the food. We talk about
The
their family,
grandchildren
our
are
family.
now bringing their children here.
Yeah,
So he's had it
it's
26
like
years.
generations.
So
26 years.
it's the most amazing.
It's
The,
been so
there's
grateful.
There's pictures of red rum sport fishing.
Oh yeah.
Like Ryan and Brooke
Yeah.
and Luis and John. Like
Yeah.
With the big tuna.
with a pretty good tuna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like there's other things, like from other, other families. Like me personally, you guys have made feel really welcome in town.
Yeah.
I'm here a lot of times, very focused on work,
Yeah.
and my wife's not always here, so it's kind of lonely at times, the folks in the office, they get tired of the boss, and I got to enjoy your birthday with you last year.
That's
and
correct.
I didn't get drunk,
Yeah.
but I had a good time though. Really good time. But no, that's part of it. I guess it was probably 8 years ago or 10 or maybe more.
Yeah.
Like the first time I came, and it was with the veteran program, and
Yeah.
we're doing that again this year.
Yeah,
Operation
correct,
Billfish. We're gonna have the
Yeah.
veterans here. You guys
That's right.
generously host them and stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like my wife says, we like to give back, and we're very honored to do that all the time. And have them here, and every time they've been here, it's amazing. Because,
We get probably more out of it than them. I mean, it's just a wonderful thing to do.
That really is a two-way street. Gratitude really goes two ways.
Yeah.
From a veteran perspective, like not a day goes by that I'm not grateful for my life.
yeah.
I'm not grateful. I am absolutely grateful for every opportunity that's been presented to me. I try not to squander it, and gratitude's a two-way street. And when it's reciprocated and appreciated, it means a little bit more. But back to family. Another thing that I love about you guys is, without compromise, you are closed on Sundays. Family
Absolutely.
time, like you do not compromise. That's an unwavering, that's a non-flexible standard. Is as sad as I get, because I like to eat on Sundays too. But I love it. Like I love how you guys and stand up for that, because
Yeah, family is what it's all about.
absolutely. And here, like in town, I feel like a lot of people sell their souls for $3, and by having that unwavering, non-flexible standard, you'll make thousands of dollars more because of the respect that people know that you care about your community, you care about your family, and it's more than just money. This is actually,
Absolutely.
It couldn't be any other way.
Yeah.
Family is everything.
And it's important for us that our employees always can count on Sunday with their family. We will never be open Christmas Day. We will never be open New Year's Day, regardless of what day of the week it falls on. It's about more than that.
I'm sorry, guys.
No, don't be sorry. Like we don't fish on Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, we've had people offer ridiculous amounts of money to come in on a Sunday, and we're like, no, sorry.
No,
Sorry.
That's as it should be. Like
Yeah.
if something means that to you, you need to stand by your conviction.
Yeah.
That's why the word conviction is
there.
so it's a finality. Since this is a fishing podcast and we're talking about family and but fish. All right, you as a waterman love fish, and you guys do a better job of fish than anybody I've seen in town.
Yeah.
And like our clients, this is like our number one place to send people, except on Sundays. And no, like you know, some other businesses, you know, like they don't have it done.
Well,
They don't have it.
unless we cook it at home and you bring the fish,
Yeah.
then we do it.
Then it's different.
Then it's different,
Then it's
right?
different.
Well,
Then it's
all right,
different.
well,
And
Yeah.
bring a bottle of wine
There's
too.
that.
Yeah, I've been known. I've been known. No, I mean the variety at which you can satisfy everyone's palate. You know,
Yes.
like, and seafood and fish are a very delicate thing. A lot of people, you know, just due to lack of exposure, here it's the staple of the diet,
Yeah.
but in the United States and in Canada, where you know the vast majority of the clientele come from, it is not the staple of the diet.
Yeah.
No.
You know, like that's a meat and potatoes type culture, and so to have the amount of seafood here overpower the amount of meat and potatoes that you get in town. You guys really do an amazing job, and that's one of the things I always tell our clients is like, you know, you're gonna get it so many different ways.
Not just breaded. Not just breaded.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
which is great, but like the Veracruz, the chapaya sauce, like
Coconut mango.
oh,
Yeah, we've been doing
The
it.
Thai
we-
teriyaki chili.
we've been,
like it
The
sounds
wagyu.
like-
It's so many dishes. I mean,
Yeah.
we can go on and on and
Yeah.
on. And over 27 years, we've been preparing your dishes for your customers that you know, your friends that you send us with fresh fish, and everyone leaves very happy because the dishes that we offer them, they just
They're
love
culinary
it.
dishes.
They're culinary.
They're
I mean,
not
they're masterpieces.
we know
Very
how to
good.
do it, and I mean, it's proof that your customers love it. I mean, everybody
yeah.
loves all the recipes, the sauces.
Now, first of
the
all, we didn't do all the
options.
work. They brought in the fresh fish.
Oh, the
So we
options,
started
yeah.
with a good base.
Yeah.
Somebody did some work there
A
too.
little bit,
Yeah.
But I mean, to satisfy just such a broad spectrum of palates. I mean that's
Yeah.
again, like it's one of those things that people don't want to talk about, but like it has to be identified because it's tough. It is so hard to do.
Well, you want to do the savory, you want to do the sweet, you want to do the spicy, and we like to serve it family style because the meal should be enjoyed as a family. So it
That's
also
correct.
creates the fun of all, you know, joining in on this big dish, you know, of course having their own plates.
Yeah.
But enjoying the
Snacking each other with
experience,
specials.
yeah, exactly, and
That's my
then
Veracruz.
and then discussing, you know, which one was your favorite, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's like a huge conversation piece right there. It's
there.
like
Yeah.
because usually like I only get through 3.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like and then I'm like, oh man, I gotta like.
I know, as soon as that chapaya fish gets on there, fork goes in.
I mean, they always you customers bring so much fish that they don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well,
do you want us to cook it all? I mean, we can actually do more dishes with different ingredients. What do you want? Oh no, we brought so much. We can't have any more.
Oh,
It's so good, you know.
what a great problem to have.
I know,
Right.
I know.
Well, and Cabo was
Correct.
founded on fishermen.
100%.
So this is a very old tradition. Cabo wasn't the nightlife place. Cabo wasn't any of that. It was sport fishing only.
The amazing fishes here that, you know, people still catching and get the chance to bring them
variety of
and
fish.
enjoy it, you know.
We, you know, obviously so many people come here for that Hemingway moment. You know, they want that billfish. You know, they imagine themselves on the Pilar and, you know, they're the old man on the sea and they're having this epic, you know, battle, you know, but they forget about everything else, the mahi-mahi or dorado. I mean, I should say it correctly here. 'Cause it's
Yeah,
dorado.
dorado.
You know, the tuna, the wahoo.
The wahoo.
You know, there was a fish I didn't even know existed until I got here called triggerfish,
Yeah.
which is the goofiest, big-eyed, buck-toothed, flat-looking fish that I've ever seen in my life. And you know, like now, when I snorkel, I like look for them because I'm like, "You're delicious, buddy.
Right.
You're delicious."
I got my pocket of chapaya sauce. Come here.
But it's like there's so much out there, such
Yeah.
a bounty. This is one of the most special fisheries on the
Jacques
planet.
Cousteau's playground.
Like, it was Jacques Cousteau's playground. And you know, the funny thing is, like, what brought Jacques Cousteau to, you know, the Baja is an underwater sand feature right here in the bay, like literally out as
the
the
waterfall.
exit.
Yeah.
And 95% of the people that are swimming right at Pelican Rock have no idea
What's underneath?
what's underneath.
The beauty.
It's so wild. I wish there used to be a mural on the old packing plant, but it's not there anymore. I wish, you know, my man has you know, shown us, shown me the original picture, you know, with the falls and the whales and everything right there. It's just beautiful, and to know I drive over it almost 5 days a week, and you know, like, forget that this amazing phenomenon is right here.
So many amazing things in Cabo that most people don't even know about. You need to come longer than a week.
Come back.
Yeah.
You know, like that's one of the reasons why the genesis of this is to share with, you know, why I fell in love with this place. And you know, obviously fishing was the reason.
Of course.
But the people and the culture immediately started to overshadow and eclipse the fishing, you know, because like I do the fishing so I can go enjoy these other things.
Yeah, and I'm mentioning that people that live here, local people, are very friendly.
Yeah.
You know, very friendly. This is a place that I moved here to Cabo for that reason, because I love the community. I love the people were very friendly, very genuine. So
you know, everyone, you know, kind of cringe. Not everyone. A lot of people cringe because of how early our days start. And I had a conversation with a client this morning. I was like, yeah, it's an early morning, but what a way to start your day. And look around.
Yeah, look at
Everyone's
my
happy,
office.
and everyone's happy.
Yeah.
You know, people are excited to get out on the water, to enjoy the passion.
This is-
The captains, the mates, you know, like they love fishing so much, and they get to share that with you.
Yeah.
And you know,
Absolutely.
like they're bringing you into, like, we're all guests out there.
yeah.
We're all guests on the water, but to like be able to introduce people to the water.
Here's
to
my
share
favorite
the-
spot. Here's
Yeah.
my favorite.
Oh.
Yeah.
And you know, like, everyone here is dealing with people at a great time in their life. They're here because they're on vacation. They're here because they're passionate about this, and you know, and like now we're seeing like this is becoming a destination for more than just fishing. You know, it's a culinary destination now.
Oh.
It's becoming like almost a medical destination. It's like becoming a lot of different things. You know, and there's more to it than a 4-block radius. You know, like
Absolutely.
Yeah.
a lot
Correct.
more to it.
That's right.
Well, and I think a lot of people are starting to realize it's also the people that have made Cabo so amazing. Us being Americans, you know, we're Americanized, unfortunately, but it's like traveling back in a time capsule 50 years ago. You know all your neighbors. You sleep
Yeah.
with your doors unlocked.
Yeah.
It's just a whole different experience. You can have a conversation with the person sitting next to you and not worry, what do you want? What's your motive? I mean, you decompress when you get down here and you go back to those old roots and what's important.
You know, I was raised in this tiny little bush community, and you know, one of the greatest social events was Friday night payday, the grocery store. Like that was because people had money and they could go buy their groceries.
They congregated there.
and there was a congregation of people, and like, you know, like I grew up watching my dad like being social over produce, being social
Right.
over meat, and you know, you like, I get that here. I like,
Yeah.
you know, I wave, you know, in the United States, you know, like I owned a Jeep for a while and I have a motorcycle, and you know, like when you pass another Jeep owner, you always wave
Yeah.
at the Jeep owner. And on the motorcycle, you always like wave at
Give
the
a
other
little nod.
motorcycle. Yeah, you give the little. But here, people just wave at each other.
Oh, everybody.
People just wave at each other. You know, like everyone makes jokes about like how stop signs are ignored.
Yeah, they're a suggestion.
But it's the most polite
Yeah.
suggestion out there.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
now when
people
they
don't
stop, you're
honk.
like, no, you go, no, you
Yeah,
go. And you're like,
people don't
somebody
honk,
please
like,
go.
People don't honk, and they're like, how dare you? No, it's like, oh no, like, come on. I was here first, but please.
Yeah, go
You know, like,
ahead, go ahead.
You know, and there's like,
Exactly. And then
It's
there's
like-
other ones that you're like, that was a stop sign.
yeah.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
But it really is polite, you know,
Yeah.
and they're like, there's no rules here. No, it's called courtesy.
Yeah.
You know, and most people extend it in such a really neat way. I enjoy it.
No, it's definitely, there's all the beautiful parts of Cabo, and you know, there's the parts where we're still very much still growing. I mean, it's still
We're growing real fast.
It's still you still have that small town experience though. And the small town, I want to say mentality, but what goes along with it, and in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way, not in a bad way.
Absolutely. The social media, you guys are on it.
Yes.
Where do we find you?
You find us on Instagram, and you find us on Facebook,
Okay.
and
Both
Google online.
At Misiones.
MisionesDeKino.com, or just Misiones de Kino. You'll find lots of information.
Love it.
Yeah, about our dishes, about the restaurant.
The
There's always
history of
cool
the
pictures.
restaurant.
Yeah, try and entice them to come in.
You know,
Wow.
the restaurant is a history here about Misiones de Kino. Why, going back a little bit, why do we name it Misiones de Kino? It's because Francisco Xavier Kino was the first missionary back in late 1600s, you know, and it was the first enchanter between the old world and this world, you know. It was, and when they came, the culture, the enchanter of the culture, where they bring all from the old country. So I love the history about it. And that's why I call the restaurant Misiones de Kino, because it has so much to do with Baja history. You know, and the place at once was a missionary, was used as a missionary. So that's why we call it Misiones de Kino, because they have to do with the mission and the history. And so it's all connected, you know, it's so connected. Therefore, we want to respect the history of it. Also, this specific building is more than 100 years ago was built. It's quite a long time ago, before you and I, right?
Yeah, no, it's been through a lot too.
So exactly.
It's gone through hurricanes, it's gone through fires.
So
Now it's a bar. We serve people in different ways.
So it makes it unique. It makes it history. It makes it unique. You know, it's connected with the Baja history. That's why the name of Misiones de Kino came into play. So
what a beautiful way to describe it.
Yeah.
Too, like the enchanter.
yeah.
And one of the things you also do here that, you know, gets me every time is the pageantry. Like the queso fondue, like the Mexican coffee.
Oh yeah.
Fried ice cream.
We do side dish on the table.
Yeah.
The guys that work for us, they do an amazing job. They're really good. They're very friendly.
Magic.
And
dinner to show.
And actually, when they do that, they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like they feel like, oh, I mean, you know,
They're
it's
a
like
part
a
of
part
your experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what the unique about this restaurant. They really enjoy it. The guys are really happy to do things for you and just, you know, embrace it. Yeah.
You know, my youngest, River, she's, you know, an aspiring artist, and you know, each plate comes out artistically, and eating dessert, you know, like
the hand painted
the hand-
edible.
Yeah. No, like, you know, it's so beautiful. Sometimes you feel guilty about
Destroying it. Right, but it's edible.
But I do.
Right, you're like, adios, hummingbird.
No, the guys do an amazing job.
Yeah.
I mean, they enjoy cooking
But that's
for.
passion.
Yeah.
That's
And that's
a lot of
That's
the
pride.
a lot of the guys that they're with us, their chef, the cooks, they've been a long time with us, because we always treat them like a family. Again, we go back to the family bonding with them, and they do everything out of passion. They do everything with art and skills, and they really do the best to do the dishes and the ingredients, and always keep it the same. So
Well, we're gonna check out some of this food, but thank you, for taking the time
thanks
to
for
talk.
having
Thank you,
us.
thank you.
Cheers. I
Hey.
haven't even
Salute.
Thank you,
had
salute.
salute. See some of the beautiful cocktails you can expect
Yeah.
while you're here.
Thank you.
I gotta hold the straw so I don't impale my nose again. My nose is a little sensitive these days.
I
But
wonder how that happened.
it happens.
It happens.
But Israel, Renee, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
I look forward to what we're about to show everybody, and
Oh, definitely.
it's gonna be awesome. But thank you so much for your time, and we'll see you here in a day. 'cause we're coming right back.
Perfect. Perfect.
That's correct.
Misiones de Kino, right here in downtown Cabo San Lucas. Come say hi to Israel and Renee.
Hello. Welcome.
Please join Travis and Alpha Elite Performance Outdoors, Red Rum Sport Fishing in Mar Vita, Rancho del Pescador. Please join us in Operation Billfish in 2023 to bring some very deserving veterans, special operations soldiers, sailors, and possibly an airman to Cabo San Lucas to go on a dream outdoor adventure. If you go to the link in bio, you can find the link tree to click on to donate. 100% of all funds raised for Operation Billfish go to Operation Billfish. There's no overhead in terms of the organization or the company, and we just want to get some very deserving guys out here. Travis, where can they find it online?
AEP Outdoors, 100% of it, like you said, goes back to our veterans. Just go to aepoutdoors.com and click on the link Operation Billfish. You'll see it.